Hi guys, you're welcome. This is a very simple tutorial and a very fast one too. I have this boubou gown that I already made. It's a white boubou gown and it's transparent obviously. And so I'm going to be making this inner. Some people call it shimmy. I'm going to be making this inner for it. So I already made some markings. This is the length. Firstly, I'm going to be getting the length I need, and for this person it's just about 2 inches below the knee line. So I'm just going to mark my length first, which I already have here. This is the M part, this is the M part, and this is the upper part, and I already marked it actually. So let me just cut it out so we can have a working piece. This is what we are working on. So this is my shoulder line, and here is my chest line, and here is my waistline. Here is the hip line and the hemline. I added 1 inch sewing allowance. So starting with the back measurement, the back measurement I have here is 8 inches. That is after I've divided into 2. So I'm just going to mark my 8 inches here, and I'm going to add ½ inch because I'm going to be turning in to mark that 8.5 also on my chest line to create a like a rectangle or like a box, to create like a box. And I'm going to be inputting my bust measurement on the chest line. You know how we do it. I hope this chalk is showing. Seems it's not really showing. Let me mark it very well. So yes, then the bust measurement here is 38. And don't forget this is like a shimmy. It's not tight, it doesn't have to be tight. So 38 divided by 4 is about 9.5. I'm going to add 1.5 to it to make it 11 inches plus ½ inch sewing allowance. That is 11.5, and I have that here. So I'm just going to create a curve, to create my armhole curve here. Now this measurement, okay, before I go to that, let's just take our basic measurement. The waist measurement for this client is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. 9 plus 1.5 inch is 1.5 inches sewing allowance. That is 10.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. That is 11 inches. That is it. The hip measurement for this client is 48, and when I divide that by 4, I have 12 plus 1.5 is and 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I have 14, which is here, and that is what I'm also going to measure on the M line here, and I'm going to connect all of this together. Now I wanted to talk about the measurements I took, but before doing that, let me just connect all my dots. Okay, so I wanted to talk about these measurements here. For this boubou, I added 2 inches for my heels, and I added 1.5 inches for my heels on the inner. That's because you don't want the inner to be contending or to be fighting for its own place inside the boubou. So I have to reduce it by just ½ inch so that this can sit separately on the body, and this can sit separately very well on the body too. Now the neck area to it, you have to put that into consideration. You don't want to sew an inner where the client will have to keep pushing the inner, like you don't want to see the inner on the outside part of the cloth. For this boubou, I use 3 inches for the width of the neck. So for the inner, I'm going to be using 4 inches so that it will be in place. And for the neck depth, I used about 5 inches for the front and 2 inches for the back. So for the inner, I'm going to be using, don't forget, this is my starting line. This ½ inch is my starting line. So for this inner, I'm going to be using about 6 inches or 6¼ for the depth, which means the inner will actually have to be inside the cloth. You won't have to start pushing it inside, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to create is a curve So then our 1 inch shoulder slope, don't forget that. Yeah, actually I boiled it, but I know I'm right. Then my shoulder joining is here. So guys, now it's time to cut. Like I said, this is a very simple project, a very simple one. So just cut out. Now to the sewing part, you need a matching bias strip, and I have mine here, which is a white one. Right sides facing each other this way. So you're just going to go ahead to the sewing machine and join your shoulders. I almost said soldiers. To shoulder with your 1/2 inch sewing allowance. After that, you're going to turn the neck with a bias strip. Then you turn the armhole with a bias strip as well. I prefer to join the bias strip separately on each side, because if it needs amendment or adjustment, I might, it will be easier for me to open through and readjust instead of joining first here before putting the bias strip. If you understand what I mean, you're going to join by the shoulders by 1/2 inch. Next, you turn the neck with a bias strip. Then you turn each of these with a bias strip on both sides. Then we join with our 1/2 inch sewing allowance and we hem. That is just all, like that is everything. So guys, here's the result of what we just did. I already, here is the bias and here is the armhole area. I've hemmed the down part, and let me show you how the inside looks like. I want to explain something. Here's what I was saying the other time, that in case I needed to amend here, if I had sewn this side before putting the bias, any amendment I want to make will require me removing the bias first. You understand? And which may not actually be very nice to do. So that is why I first put the bias this way before joining the sides. And here is it. Here is everything. So guys, thank you for watching. And this way fits perfectly for not just a boubou gown, but also iro and buba, transparent fabrics. So guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. So we meet again in another video. Stay safe and bye.